And we are back. We are here with Bret and Kandace Saberhagen. Bret, you played for the Royals, Mets, Rockies, Red Sox from 1984 to 1999, and as well as in 2001. You were a three-time All-Star, a two-time Cy Young winner, and a Gold Glove winner. A lot of pitchers never win a Cy Young, but you've won two. And some other names that are on that list are like Clemens, Maddox, Koufax, Martinez, Johnson, and recently, Kershaw, Scherzer, DeGrom. Are there times when even now it kind of hits you that you're in that kind of company?
Well, I think it's hit me all along that I was in pretty special company. Very fortunate to have achieved it once, but twice is something special. And a lot of those guys you talk to have even more than two. So I've played golf with Clemens and Maddox, and you can talk about a lot of wins as well. So I feel very fortunate to have put on a baseball uniform in the major leagues for one day, let alone 18 years. A few of them weren't completely healthy, but felt very fortunate to have done what a lot of people love watching and would have loved to put on a uniform as well. And doing it for as long as I did. So I just kind of cross my fingers, look back and go, wow, that was pretty cool.
Now, you were drafted straight out of high school. What was that journey like at that time? Because were there a lot of players drafted straight out of high school, or most were coming from the minors even now, right?
Well, the draft always has between not minors, the high school and the college level. And it seems like more nowadays. It seems like there's a lot more coming out of college because I think they've proven themselves for a few more years than the high school guy has. I was drafted in the 19th round, had some arm problems my senior year. I thought I should have been drafted a lot higher, but it didn't happen because I started off very slow my senior year trying to impress the scouts. Yeah, I was very fortunate to have only played 1 year in the minor leagues. And my first week in the big leagues, I was 19 years old. So it happened very quickly, very fast for me. But being in the right place at the right times with the right time with the Royals was great. We had a few guys that were injured. My rookie year, 1984, coming out of spring training. So they went with a couple younger pitchers, and I was one of them.
Now, were there any family members or friends who didn't want you to go straight to the majors, maybe saying, hey, you should go to college first?
That was tossed around. I was going to, if I would have went to school, it would have been University of Southern California. I wasn't much of a student. That was the only problem. So the school thing was I went there to compete and play sports, and I got by. But if I would have gone to school and if I would have went to USC, it would have been with Randy Johnson and also Mark McGuire. So that team would have been pretty solid. They were solid without me, but it would have been fun to play with them in college and then move along. But I think I made the right choice the way things worked out.
Now, you pretty much established yourself as an ace in your second year with the Royals, winning your first Cy Young and the World Series with an MVP on top of that. Did it kind of feel like you were living every kid's dream, like in real time?
It happened very quickly, that's for sure. Yeah, my first year in the big leagues, we went to postseason, lost to the Detroit Tigers. They ended up winning the World Series that year. Second year, we get to postseason again, and we win the World Series. So after 2 years being in postseason, both the years, it seemed like it was going to happen year after year. After 1985, winning the World Series, didn't get back to postseason until 1995 when I was traded from the Mets to the Rockies. I had some shoulder problems, which didn't pitch very well in the postseason then, and never actually getting back to another World Series, but getting back to postseason a few other times. So as I look back, I was fortunate to have got to the World Series and won one. But looking back, just really knowing how difficult it is to get to postseason. A little easier now with the wild cards and more teams getting in. But back then there was only two from the American League and two from the National League for the majority part of my career until it went to the wild card, I believe, in '95.
Now, which stadiums do you recall? Which ones did you feel had the best playing atmospheres, or were there some stadiums you enjoyed pitching in more so than others?
You always love playing at home for the home fans, that's for sure. But I like the ballparks that seemed like the pitcher's mound was right on top of home plate. Oakland, for example, it felt like the mound is 60 feet 6 inches. It felt like I was throwing the ball 55 feet. Yankee Stadium, on the other hand, it seemed with the big backstop there, it seemed like you were throwing 65 feet. So some of the stadiums were a little more appealing. The bigger ballparks was always nice. I always like pitching in cold weather, so early in the season when the hitters' hands are a little cold. So the cold ballparks, hated pitching indoors. I just felt like baseball was meant to be played outside. But those are some of the things that stadiums and things that I liked or disliked.
Looking back on your career, were there any particular memories that stick out to you the most? Was it the no-hitter in 91?
No, although that was very special. The only one that sticks out way above anything else is Game 7 of the World Series 1985. I was probably the most nervous I've ever been prior to a game, and I did an interview with Kansas City radio station today, and they brought up nervousness and so on and so forth. And I said I didn't really feel my feet touching the ground for the first 3 innings. I was so adrenaline going, and finally after about getting through the second inning, on the third inning, I was actually able to kind of catch my breath and take a deep breath while I was out there. Fortunately, things went well. A lot of balls put in play the first couple innings, and no damage was done. But that was probably the most nervous I've ever been before a game, and that was the one game I always will look back on as one of my favorite moments in baseball.
Well, we are going to go to a commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about your charity Saber Wings and the other project you guys have going on right now with the DNA diet. Ladies and gentlemen, Bret and Kandace Saberhagen. We'll be right back after these messages.